Hello everybody and welcome to Soul Awareness. My name is Jane and I do readings for everybody who wants them. Alright, have a little water. I just finished doing some 10-minute meditation to kind of relax the body from all of the feeling of I was going to say stress, but it feels more like squeezing. And I know some of you are, oh my God, you're feeling squeezing. No, I feel, you know, when you're stressed and you're holding yourself so stiff, I feel like all the readings this week are like that. And when I first pulled out the cards and the Four of Pentacles came out, I understood right away that it's because of the feeling that's going on. People are feeling squeezed. People are trying to protect themselves. They're possessive of what they have. They, you know, they want a sense of security and of order, and I don't know, they're just kind of just trying to protect whatever they have at the moment. And it's because of a deep sense of instability and fear that keeps popping up everywhere. Just when you think you got something, something else happens. Now, I can't speak at what you're scrolling by or seeing. And myself, these days, I'm sometimes having problems of trying to get away or separate myself from these things. But I try really hard. Every day I wake up with the intent of, I'm going to separate myself from these things. There's a card that came out and it says, understand the order of things. And I feel that this is kind of the state of the world. Although things don't always turn out as we anticipate, studying, learning, and planning often allows us to address issues in advance. And then they go about business and investments, but I'm not really going to talk about that. I prefer just to take that first sentence because it is true for most things. If you hoard 4 nuts here, but they have to last you 8 months, that's just not enough. So if you plan ahead and try to kind of stack the deck in advance for yourself, okay? It can be a much better place. And I know a lot of you are, I know some of you are low income, I do understand that. But I do come from a family of where we were low income as well, okay? Where we are, people around here make about 150 to 200,000. That's a couple of two. We barely made that for years and years and years. But the way that we surpassed that is we lived for our means, you know, within our means. We bought a low-priced house. We found one. And we had a lot of debt. We were about 150,000 at one point. Actually, I think 169. But we got rid of all of it, including the house payment. And we did that by working diligently together, cutting down a lot of cost. We cut out cable when it wasn't fashionable to do so. We were the first one to stream YouTube as much as possible. And you know, a cheap Netflix at the time. Instead of paying like $90 for cable, we paid $9 for Netflix. We made do with what we had, and we found that it was plenty at the time. We worked hard at reducing a lot of the overages of the things that sometimes you don't even realize is happening. And we really, really put our attention on what we could do for ourselves, what we wanted for ourselves. Cutting here, cutting there, you know, stuff like low-flow shower heads that cut down the cost of hot water and utilities. We really worked it. We really worked hard at it. We had a landline for the longest time. We couldn't get rid of it because of our internet, but we figured out how to do dry loops, if you guys know about that. which instead of $50 would have been $5 to keep a landline, because that's the cheapest we could keep a landline for at one point. And then we started just looking for options and things and started paying off the stuff. And about 8 years down the road, everything was paid. It took a long time, but it got us in a position where we are much more at peace. We created a security. And I believe that all of this to say to you that I think that if you work at it, if you educate yourself, and you really are honest with yourself with what you really do need and what you want, without prejudice, without getting upset. My husband and I love to have weekend breakfast, so we found the cheapest, best weekend breakfast place, and we still did that on the weekends. So to us, it wasn't taking away all the good or the fun. It was figuring out how to do the stuff we wanted without sinking ourselves in a process, okay? So that we could have plenty of nuts, not only for us, but for our kids and even for others. At this time, we could still give to charities. There's a few charities that I give to, Habitat for Humanity, and there's a homeless shelter near me that I give to. So these things were still happening. So I could still afford to be generous and kind to an extent. Okay, didn't give everything, but to an extent to some people while trying to get myself out from the biggest hole I think we had ever been in. Understand the order of things. And things don't always turn out as you anticipate. You overspend. You do stuff like I did. Okay? But studying, learning, and planning often allow us to address issues in advance and resolve them as well, even if it's not in advance. But once you've done it once, then you can plan for the future. Okay? We are no longer in a position that if something happened tomorrow, we would have to be in a state of complete shock and an awful situation like panic. Okay? So, I'm not saying nothing bad can happen to make us go there, but we are planning a lot more. It stops us from sitting in this thing, holding back, like all our nuts going, no, which sounds really funny now that I say it, but you understand. The next part of this reading, though, that we're going to talk about, I wanted to address this first because I know there's a lot of people who are hurting right now. The world doesn't work very well. I honestly, I understand this. But I also have other people contributing in this household so that it makes it easier for everybody, right? You do what you have to. You plan for yourself so that you can feel secure, happy, and safe in your environment. Over here we have the Empress, and that's creativity. The Two of Cups is harmony. And the oneness is the oneness to spirit. And these cards all together are showing me something that's much better than this. Okay? This is the 1. This is the 2. This is the 3. This 4, no. This 4 is to be careful with it. Okay? So, oneness with spirit. To take a moment to know that we're connected to our environment and everything around it. Not only that, what you throw out there is what you're going to get back. Be very careful with that, okay? If you show this a controlled holding on to something, what you're secretly putting out there, secretly, not so secretly, is that there's lack in your life. There's something missing, so I'm going to hold on tightly because I don't want to run out. Do you hear the words? Run out of anything. I need to control and protect like you are unprotected. When you start sending out a message of oneness, when you take a few minutes to meditate, to calm the physical body, the neurological body from reacting to all the outside stimuli, and to reconnect to source, you give yourself a moment of peace and quiet to, retune to peace, to love, to what matters. Okay? I do a lot of this right now is I'll either do a 10-minute meditation, concentrate a lot on breath, or I will start naming things surrounding me just to show that I am present in my moment. It really helps. It gets you out of your mind and the possible things that might happen. Okay? Like this beautiful box that holds my first set of cards, my first set of tarot cards. Okay? This beautiful card with all the beautiful rainbow colors and the smooth texture of it. Okay? I have a camera holder in front of me that I can touch, that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the camera that's videoing this, and I am also looking at my my laptop and think, well, I'm lucky to have one, right? And it's old, but it still works, and it has a little pink butterfly. I love that. And then I look at all my cards that are stacked over here in front of me that you don't see. And I feel so very grateful for all of those. You don't have to go to the next thought about everything. You can just go, that box is blue, that box is purple, that writing is brown with a yellow box. And I find that that works as well because it takes the emotion out of it. But once I'm past that, sometimes I like to put gratitude in it, and then I start feeling a lot better. Okay? Slowing yourself down is sometimes the very best thing you can do, and sometimes just going for a nap if you can is also a very good thing. Now, I know it's not possible for everybody. People work, they have things to do, I get it. But being kind to yourself as soon as you are able to do it is probably one of the nicest and best things you can do. Okay? It is, again, something that you can learn and plan to do to yourself, okay? And this will, as they say, address issues in advance, because you're going to be able to just calm the body, okay? And address the issues of stress and anxiety. The Two of Cups comes in, and it's saying, lean on the people that you can, and lean on the balance of, again, of the harmonies between bringing yourself back into harmony, right? Attract what you want. Attract love. Attract harmony. Attract people who want that balance as well in their lives, who want to feel the way you feel, right? And then also, on the flip side of it, attract nurturing and caring. The Empress brings in creativity and love. And, of course, it is the mother of the major arcana, right? It's got that mother energy, that mother nurturer. So, and it also part of indulging your senses, like I said, eating good food that feeds the body, having good drinks, you know, not talking alcoholic, but I mean, you know, hey, you know, I mean having, you know, feeding the fluid in your body to make it function better, walking to shift the energy of where it's going, meditating, you know, taking, even if you can't take a nap, take 5. And just kind of find anything. My phone has free, because it's with my step counter for my phone, which is an Android. They actually have a wonderful little meditative thing that I can do, and it's done by Calm. But of course, my phone's a Samsung, right? And this is Samsung Health or whatever, where it counts my steps. I found it a few months ago, and it's wonderful. Whenever I feel like I can, they have breathing exercises, they have meditating videos, 10 minutes at a time. It really helps regenerate and rejuvenate the body. Now, a lot of this is what I'm saying, what I was saying about what you send out there is what you're going to get back. Okay, this is number 11. When you 47 comes to 11, 11 is a beautiful master number, and it's something that you need to pay attention to. And it's the intuitive, kind of reflective pool of of intuition, okay? So the world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. Embody the love you wish to feel in your life too, okay? When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Focus on self-love, self-esteem. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. A detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life can be? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you are the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to act. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed but celebrated. See the love within you and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. Again, that security and confidence is coming in. But of course, you need to plan on it. You need to act with intention and direction. Okay? So, continuing on. Important to all of these, of course, is wisdom. Okay? Yeah, I love this one. This is so pretty. Look at this owl. Wise owl. Wise owl. I love wisdom. Okay. So the number for this one is 52, which is 7. There's some reflection to be done because that's 7, right? Reflection, assessment, just kind of looking at things, weighing the option. So this card is also asking you to listen to the coincidences, the sign, the synchronicities around you. Watch for messages from guides, angels, even people around you sometimes have messages. They're just kind of sliding in. We miss those a lot of the time. Okay? Enlightenment is growing within you in mysterious ways beyond your awareness. Sit on the earth and allow her wisdom to fill you. I love that. So your wisdom doesn't only come from your joyous, carefree times. It's bloomed from perceived failures, perceived deflated dreams, and seemingly wrong turns in life. Cherish every experience. It's deepened your wisdom, your compassion, and understanding. Also, know that there's an innate wisdom within you always. It's simply a matter of being still and turning within in order to access it. Sometimes you may be so focused on the future or what's outside of you that you forget that wisdom is available to you now. All I truly need is within me. And that comes in. What you truly need is within you. Okay? Wisdom brings it into you. Okay? I feel that these are all talking about the same thing. In order to, defeat fear, anxiety, and the sensation of lack, you have to put out there a different kind of energy, but you also need to realize that everything that you go through is presenting you with an opportunity to be better. When we were, heavily in debt and thinking how oppressive that felt, that's the other feeling, oppression. Instead of going, that's the way it is, everybody's in the same boat, and we worked on it. We took it as an opportunity to be better, to do better, to work at freeing ourselves from this chain. Okay? So take the time to do that. Don't forget as well, I'm going to put this delight. Okay? Delight is a beautiful card. It's that kind of card where it just makes you feel like, I want to feel grateful and happy. 14 is 5, which is strange to have delight in a 5 because 5 is hard lessons. But maybe it's just to tell you that in every down there's an up. Okay? Let your inner child play. Be silly and play hooky. And, if possible, take a day off. Now, I know not everybody can do that. I do get that. And I feel the same way sometimes. Sometimes I'm working 7 days a week. But it's because I'm okay with that and I really enjoy what I do. So, it's kind of letting you know that, but sometimes you have to be a little spontaneous and madcap. And do something that's probably not always expected. In other words, you know, if you're not somebody who goes to a certain place or go for a certain walk to a certain place, but then you go for a walk a certain place, there are things, it's almost feel like gifts and presents for you waiting there. And they're gifts of knowledge, even just a different way of thinking. Every time that I go out of the norm, I always come back with a different point of view about something or someone. And I think sharing my time with people or going to different places, now when I decide to do something, I always feel like, what am I gonna come back with today? Okay? Even when I, once in a while, go out with friends, you know, for lunch, and it's not in my usual routine during the week, but sometimes I do it, and then something happens, something said, they bring insight to me. It's such a wonderful thing, and I delight in all of that. So even if it's not anything big, do something out of the norm of your schedule every once in a while. Not only does it get you out of your comfort zone, which is important, because you don't want to stagnate where you are, but it also brings in some new energy. New energy is really great. It's wonderful. Also very important, this has come in before. All of this month, all of March, what we're going to be doing is we're really going to be focusing on what home feels like. You know what? This reminds me of the Hermit's Cave, which doesn't surprise me because it is a 9 and we are in a hermit year. We're here to focus on the things that are really not working for us. I feel that at the end of this, because we're going to be going in, like, after Hermit is the Wheel of Fortune that comes in, right? And what I feel with that is that, and that's where we're going. In 2026, we're going into a Hermit, a Wheel of Fortune year. And what happens with that is that the wheel is going to spin. Things are going to change. There'll be a cycle shift, okay, on the planet. And there's always cycles. There's always shifts of all kind happening on the planet. But right now, what's happening with that is that, look, over here, with the Hermit, it's asking you to be very insightful and to really think of what you want in your life. This is why it's telling you, are you always feeling stressed out and stuck and squeezed? How do you get away from that? How do you fix that? How do you organize that? How do you look at it long term and help yourself out of this cycle of this? Because when the cycle shifts, you want to be turning that wheel in the direction you want to go. Not in the same old crap that you've been living that's causing you grief. You actually want to feel like you are at home in your life, that you are well in your life, okay? And trust me, people do it with almost nothing. So find out what makes you happy, what makes you feel like home. Now, if you're truthful with yourself, there'll be a few things that you really want. And I'm telling you, as you go along, you may even discard some of those things. But as you're going on, just make sure to focus on the few things that are really going to sustain you. And work on the things that are going to make you feel safe, secure. And put an order to things that relieve the pressure of life, okay? And encourage more oneness, more harmony, and more creativity. These are the cues, these are the things that you need in your life to move forward. So it's important to really, really focus on those things, okay? So there you go, my beautiful, beautiful members, my beautiful subscribers, my beautiful visitors, because some of you are not subscribed, but you're visiting for the first time. I hope that this helped you just kind of settle in, be at ease, and kind of really be reflective on what is squeezing you, what is making you feel happy, what makes you home and secure, you know? And I would do whatever it takes this year, especially, to work on those things, even if it's slowly, to increase the happiness and the sense of peace in your life, rather than just keep being in the squeeze of things, okay? That squeeze, it's so hard to do readings with that squeeze because they're emphasizing on it. And while I'm all fine right now, it keeps coming back before the readings. And it's just, I feel some of you are very, very stressed out. It's important right now that you really work on that, okay? So do what you must. I gave you some ideas on that. Breathing. 10-minute meditations, doesn't have to be long, not everybody has that. Even if you're falling asleep, your body's telling you something, okay? And also, just when your mind starts going too far, start naming everything in your room. Take 5 or 10 minutes and keep naming yellow cardboard, black writing, card box, fluffy pen, blue, sippy cup, salt lamp, color red, yellow, green. You just keep naming the things until you feel your body relaxing. And then you can do a little reset, okay? So I'm trying to help you here for anybody who's feeling stress. And I know the world is just, wow. And if I find out how to completely get away from the stress of social, I will let you know, okay? If you have any ideas, please share it in the comments. Everybody can use your wonderful, wonderful advice. Take care of yourself. Right over here is Life Path Number Tarot Readings, my other channel. Just click on it. The first video on the homepage explains what that is. And over here will be a playlist with other videos such as this one to help you through your day. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.